Hello, I'm Viggy Parhampton, and welcome to Tag Team Tales of Terror, where another horror author and I work together to create something short and diabolical. Today, I've tagged Mona Kabani, author of The Bell Chime, which won the award for Best Horror Novella of 2020 from Ladies of Horror Fiction, Vanilla, For You, and her most recent, The Color of Blood. Come.
Thank you so much for having me
Of course, what
again.
did I miss? I know that was a short introduction.
Nope, that's pretty perfect. Yeah, psychological horror writer based in New York. All my works are available on Amazon, but otherwise you got it all. Perfect.
Fantastic. And if you guys haven't read The Color of Blood, I am lucky that I have so much of your catalog still to read, but The Color of Blood was so good. And also, the cover. I don't think enough people realize that. I mean, it is so beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, it was I love doing the covers of my books when I have like inspiration for the cover. Sometimes I have to outsource it to other artists and they come up with incredible things. But I had such a vivid idea for this cover and I had my boyfriend like help model a little bit because it's like my face and his hand that I used as kind of like the model for it. And it was really fun, like collaborative project to work on with him too. But I'm really proud of that cover as well. I'm so glad people like it.
Yeah, I mean, it has pop art vibes, which I always, and like colorful, that instantly draws me in, no matter what.
Yeah,
Instantly.
yeah, exactly.
Well, are you ready to get into the rules of Tag Team Tales of Terror?
Let's do it.
Okay. So this is a progressive story. So we will alternate telling bits of the story until we reach some sort of satisfying conclusion. So when we feel like we're done, we're done. And we each get 30 seconds before we switch. So I will have a timer in the corner. So just keep your eye on it. And as my guest, you will get to start off after I draw the prompt from this lovely hat here. You might want like a pen and paper to write things down as we go, or maybe not. Up to you.
Oh, no thing.
And we're hoping for about 10 minutes, but if it's longer, if it's a little shorter, it's totally fine.
Okay.
And then after putting you through that, I have a little surprise for you,
Okay.
which is exciting and not scary. Okay,
Awesome.
any questions before we get started?
I don't think so. Mm-mm.
Okay, here we go. Here's the hat.
Okay.
Okay, see what we got here.
Cut out.
Stuck in a zoo overnight.
Stuck in a zoo overnight. Okay.
And
Okay.
as soon as you're ready, I will start the timer. So you just let me know.
Okay. Let me think of how I want to start this.
Starting is harder. I'm sorry.
No, no, no. It's okay. I appreciate you giving the opportunity to like open the floor. I'm just trying to think. Uh, okay, let's do it a little silly.
Let's do it. Okay.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay. So I've been walking around the zoo all day, and what I really came to see was the zebras. I'm just so fascinated with their stripes, with their coloring. Is it black on white? Is it white on black? I've stood in front of the zebra cage for hours, just transfixed, staring, to the point where I've realized that the zoo's starting to close down, but I don't want it to end, so I go and I hide in the bushes.
And as I'm sitting there hiding, getting pricked by some sort of prickly leaves, I realized that the zebra's colors were actually somewhat hypnotic. And it's been way longer than I expected. I realized as I look at my watch that 6 hours have passed, and the next time I peek out from behind the curtain of bushes, the sun has gone down, and because the zoo isn't open at night, there are no lights. It is pitch dark, and I am stuck in this zoo, and now I have no idea what to do.
But the zebras are almost glowing, and something about it is just so enrapturing, and I can't not get close enough to them to figure out what is happening with their pelts. So of course the zoo keep for zebras is just a fence and a pit. So looking around, there's no one there. I climb over the fence and, scale down the little bit of dirt wall, get to the bottom of the pit and see a zebra up close without any barrier between us.
And as I creep closer and closer to the two zebras in the enclosure, they look at each other, almost as if they're humans sharing some sort of glance. Then they look back at me, they bare their very horsey teeth, and they hiss at me. I have never heard a zebra hiss in my life. I thought they made more of a donkey sound, but no, they are hissing and their mouths are peeling back wider and wider and wider. And then they start to growl. And I get even more terrified because they start to walk towards me.
Okay, I back up a little bit, but I'm still so entranced. Their stripes are just starting to swirl and turn into spirals, and I can't keep myself from looking away, but I also realize that this zebra might attack me. So I back up against the dirt wall as it comes closer and closer, its mouth growing wider somehow as it grits its teeth and bears at me.
And as it gets closer and that mouth gets wider, I realize that I'm actually leaning towards it. The stripes have so enraptured me that I've completely become paralyzed. I can't move, and I'm actually getting closer to the zebra. Its mouth is yawning, and then before I know it, my head is inside of its mouth. I feel its rough, horsey tongue all over my face, probably looking for the little bit of popsicle I had earlier as a treat. And before I know it, I'm inside of the zebra.
um, I'm crawling inside of the zebra, and suddenly I'm able to control its body. I can move and move its feet, and almost as if I'm manning an animatronic. And I look at the other zebra, and the other zebra looks at me just as confused as to sensing that something's off, that something about its buddy is no longer. But maybe I'll stay like this for a bit and explore. And now that this other zebra isn't as upset by me because I've blended into its zebra friend, I'm able to analyze their pellets, and this is kind of nice.
And as I look over at my zebra friend, I realize what I thought were little hairs that made up its pelt are actually waving, tiny little worm-like creatures. And as I get closer and closer to my friend, he starts to back away because he realizes this might not be normal zebra behavior. But I reach out what I think is a hand, and then I remember I'm a zebra, so it's a hoof. And I start pawing at his side, and he starts growling at me.
Um, and as I'm continuing to pet him, the villi, almost like hairs of his pellet, start to stretch onto my hoof and start to interconnect. And I start to pull my hoof away, but there's some resistance. But I just still can't. I mean, I'm in a zebra and I'm looking at a zebra, and this is all I've wanted in my life, is to see and be a zebra almost. Maybe that was the conclusion of my life, that really I loved zebras so much. It was, this is my purpose, is to become a zebra. So I start allowing my hoof to go deeper into the villi of this other pell and see what happens.
And as I get deeper, I realize this zebra is absorbing me. And you know what? I'm okay with it. I let it happen. I let my zebra self be absorbed by this other zebra, and before I know it, I am in a very dark place, but I'm not alone.
It's almost like an echo chamber of a room I'm walking in. I must be within two prisms of zebras, because if my math is right, I was consumed by one and absorbed by another. So I'm walking around, and the darkness of this room also swirls, almost reminiscent of the zebra stripes. And I'm walking around, and in the distance I see another zebra, but this one's glowing. I mean, it has like a holy light surrounding it.
It almost reminds me of Plato's allegory of the cave. When I see this zebra, I think this is what a zebra is supposed to be. This is the ultimate zebra. And when I get closer, the zebra opens its mouth, not to hiss, not to growl, but to talk to me. It just looks at me and says, "So, the swirls, they got you, man, huh? You are not the first, and you certainly won't be the last to be introduced into the cult of the one true zebra."
And I stand there, and I'm telling this zebra, I think this was my life purpose. I mean, how do we get here? I've always had a fascination with zebras ever since I was young, and the follow up question then being, are all zebras just people who have been obsessed with zebras and to become zebra? Is this my transformation, my final true form? What must I sacrifice to be able to be part of you, one of you?
The glowing zebra looked at me with love in its eyes and told me that there is a superior group of humans who are actually zebras in a past life. And we all agreed before we were reborn as humans to come back here and join together into our herd. We were all eaten by a herd of saber-toothed tigers back in prehistoric times, and we all wanted to find each other again. So I'm so happy you're here. Come and join the others, and we'll tell you what initiation ritual is like.
And so I continue I follow this glowing halo zebra deeper into the darkness, and I'm admiring these swirls, these stripes, these very faint patterns all around me. And as we continue, I see a tiny glowing doorway in the darkness that me and this godlike zebra enter through. And there it's just a African safari of just zebras, all of them living happily, peacefully, but they all have this like glowing fili like pelts that are a little bit disturbing, but I can't help but being entranced at the same time. There's something very cosmically interesting about them.
I get closer and I want to reach out and touch these zebras. And as I do, once again, my hand adheres to them. And the next thing I know, I am outside. I am outside. I am looking back at a human who I think was once me. And he's staring back at me. And he's also reaching out. And that's when I realize I am one of the villi on the zebra's pelt. I am the zebra's pelt.
And this man who's reaching out for me, that I believe is me, as they touch the pelt of the zebra, starts to get absorbed, and I reach my hand, my little fillet nodule out, and I grab their hand, and I just tell them, "It's me. It's okay." And I wrap the feli around their arm and slowly pull them in, and it's almost like the cycle. I feel like I've been here before, almost like I have been on the other side being pulled in by something at some point.
And I start to realize that my entire life is just one cycle of in and out of the zebra, in and out of the zebra. And I'm not sure if this is heaven and I'm not sure if this is hell. But all I know is I don't remember anything before the zebra and I don't want to know anything after it. So here I am, endlessly repeating the zebra transfiguration. And that's all I'm ever going to do.
And we're happy here.
Yeah. I think that was good.
That was good. That's so like my type of like cosmic weirdness for like a short period of time. That was fun.
I had no idea where that was going to go, honestly. And that was so interesting.
I'm so glad. It's definitely a bit of an acid trip. I was thinking like, oh, zoo. What is like the most interesting looking kind of animal? And I don't know. I don't know if it's like color of blood spiral type things that are still influencing me, but I love
I
like
was
that idea.
getting that, yeah.
Yeah, I love that idea of people getting like so enraptured by images and like patterns that it takes them down this weird path. So the zebra, I think, was a funny way to
Mhm.
go. I like that. That was really fun.
It was fun. And usually what we do now is we name the story.
Mm.
So if I liked what you said with two prisms of zebras, but if you have anything else, I'm totally open.
Within two prisms of zebras.
I like it.
I love
That's the story.
I
I'm
love
writing it
that.
down.
That's
And
so good.
that's definitely the most different type of story. I don't typically write cosmic horror, but maybe now I have to get into that because that was fun and trippy and very different.
I know. I love cosmic horror. It's funny because I've always considered myself a psychological horror author, and I am like for sure. I love character based horror stories that are character forward, but I love the kind of freedom cosmic horror gets
Mhm.
allows you, where you can kind of create your own rules for your own monsters and explore a lot of weirdness with that. And I'm also a big body horror person. Like I just love body horror imagery. So I think it all melds really well together. So that was it was fun to take the story in that direction.
It was, and I'll never look at zebras the same way. They used to be my favorite animal, and now I'm kind of like, But if they're ever at a petting zoo, I think I'll pass.
I know, I don't think I could pet a zebra now either. That's so funny. The feline thing was really gross. That was a good ad.
Yes, that is gross though, because it's like I've never pet a zebra. Who's to say they're not actually like that?
I know, right? I mean, I don't think I've ever been close enough to a zebra to really examine their pellet.
No,
They are weird.
no, I definitely, and now I don't want to. Well,
Funny.
so I promised you a surprise. So I don't know if you've seen previous episodes of this, but I have created a delicious recipe just for you based on the color of blood.
Ah, yay, so cute.
I call these the bottomless void cupcakes, which
Oh
if you
my
read the
God.
book, you'll understand why. And they are a very special type of dark chocolate cupcake. So what makes them special? Well, you can make your favorite chocolate cupcakes however you want. I used a Simple Mills mix because I'm gluten free. And then you make some delicious and super easy strawberry jam. Mine has frozen strawberries, maple syrup, vanilla, and some chia seeds to make it really jammy. And then when the cupcakes and the jam are cool, you make a hollow or a void, if you would like to call it that, in the
God.
middle of the cupcake. And also, this is a very opportune time to taste test those cupcakes. I taste tested a lot. And then
Mhm.
you spoon some of that jam into the void. And of course, the jam is the color of blood,
Of
obviously.
course.
And then you melt some chocolate with a bit of coconut oil and you drizzle that all over the top so you totally cover the jam so that when you cut into the cupcake, you get a delicious and very bloody surprise.
Oh my God, that's so good, dude. That's amazing.
It was delicious. It really
That's
was.
really good. I have to make those. Now I have to make them in honor for sure of you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And the rest, I will send you the recipe. It's also going to be posted with this episode. And honestly, so delicious. I made them. I think they lasted in my house about a day.
I'm sure. Those sound fire. I think I would eat them within a weekend at minimum.
They're so delicious. And they are the perfect dessert to eat while you're reading The Color of Blood. I mean, what else could you really eat while you're doing that?
I mean, dark chocolate with an erotic horror romance. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And last thing before we go, so thank you so much. And where can people find you and keep up with you and your work?
Of course. So, Morality and Horror is my username for Instagram and TikTok. That's where you can find me. Most active Instagram, I'm very active on. My books, like I said, are available on Amazon. They're in paperback, ebook, and available with Kindle Unlimited if you have that subscription. I also have a website, Morality and Horror, where you can purchase signed copies of my books. And sign up for my mailing list. Sometimes I shoot out updates through the mailing list or sales that are going on. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
God, of course. Thank you for having me. This was so fun.
It was so fun, and we ruined zebras for everybody.
I know. I'm so sorry. If anyone's favorite zebra, I mean, if everyone's favorite animal out there is a zebra and we ruined it, I'm sorry. Or maybe we made it better. Maybe you like
Maybe we made it better. I'm
the
gonna go with that.
topic. Yeah,
Or makes everything better.
yeah.